wonderful event and to get to know all of you. It's a big thing that's changed my life. I hadn't met my wife before I came to the TLMC. I'm listening to the presentations this morning and understanding the thread of the conversation about the shift to digital reminded me that there's three kinds of people in the world. The kinds of people that make things happen, the kinds of people that watch things happen, and the kinds of people that ask what happened. And I'm pretty sure, watching the presentations today, that the Kapisanan and its members are the first category, the ones that make things happen. You're going to drive your own ship. One of the things when I was considering what topic to present to you today, I thought about was there seemed to be a discrepancy perhaps in how people were viewing digital television and the decision on a standard. All I kept hearing from my friends here in the Philippines was, pretty soon now we're going to get a definitive statement and we're going to go forward once we hear about the definitive statement and the standard being applied. But what I was reading and learning about what was going on elsewhere in the world made me think that perhaps that wasn't exactly the case. And perhaps we should think about it a little bit differently to avoid getting burned. So, with your permission, and please don't take this in any way as any indication that the decision to go with ISDBT or anything like that is the wrong decision. It's not. All I'm suggesting is we think very carefully about the characterization of choosing a digital standard. So where are we today? Digital television is being rolled out worldwide, which is being fueled by a number of things. Higher quality, more content channels, as we've heard today, and by the governments eager to auction vacated bandwidth. The standards have been chosen around the world in large part. I'm going to show you the implementation status at the moment on a worldwide basis. The Philippines has chosen ISDBT, and implementation is beginning. But change is in the wind. This is the map of the world showing the standards which have been implemented. The blue colors are variations on DVB and DVB-T and DVB-T2. The orange is the Chinese system. ISDBT, which you see in Japan and South America, and the Philippines, but they didn't show it on this map. And then the green is ATSC, the American standard. And this is the progress worldwide on digital television. So the red ones have already shut off analog completely. The yellow is places in which the implementation has begun, and then there's other places that haven't even started doing anything yet. So let's talk about for a second the agents of change. What's going to cause change to occur? Well, one of the things that's very interesting is channel repacks are going on. I don't know if you've heard about this, but what happens is even in countries where this shift to digital has occurred, there's change. In the United States, for instance, we've recently finished turning over most of the analog channels to digital, and most of the analog channels are shut off. But even then, the United States government is saying, okay, broadcasters, you don't need all that spectrum because the digital system, the compression in the digital system allows you to use your channels so we can push together the broadcasters into less channels, and then we can take that spectrum and sell it, auction it, and we're talking about big bucks. The other thing that's very interesting, and I hope you find this as interesting as I did, is there's an organization which has been formed in just the last few months called the Future of Broadcast Television Committee, which has been formed to evaluate a worldwide DTV standard. And I'll give you more information on that. So here's what's happened in the United States with regard to channel repacks. When digital television came along, the United States instantly gave up, the broadcasters instantly gave up over 120 megahertz of bandwidth. It was auctioned, and the people that were willing to pay the most for it was the cellular and wireless industry. This is important to understand here. And now the government is saying, now that the stations have all invested in this technology, have built out all the antenna systems, all the transmitters, all the rest, then they're going to redo the whole thing, redo the whole scheme, take away more bandwidth, and shove more into a smaller space using the digital advantage of digital compression techniques. And there is a push to do more and more and more of that. So it's important that as you make your decisions in digital television, that you consider this to be one step along the way. Digital television is not a destination, it's a process.